Welcome to Proudly Said, bold voices and real stories. I'm John Hyland, Scouse, queer, and still trying to make sense of it all. This space is for the stuff we don't always say out loud, but probably should. Let's get into it. So we ventured out a little bit today. For this episode, we've come all the way to Crunton, but it's really pretty around here. Actually, I was having a little look around. It's like, as I'm driving through, except for there's loads of roadworks going on just as you come off the M62.
Yeah, that is a pain in the arse.
I'm here with Lianne Terry, who is you're a fabulous individual in the sense of what you do for your work, but you've got a lot of feathers in your cap, shall we say. So I'm gonna let you kind of list it because I'll get it wrong.
Yeah, so predominantly I am a counsellor or psychotherapist, and I also have a wellbeing magazine that is aimed at the LGBT community, that talks about everything wellbeing, which is my passion ultimately. So I am a LGBT wellbeing expert, or some might say, try to be at least. So that is my main focus.
Fabulous.
Does that answer the question?
It does, because you said counsellor and what was the other one?
Psychotherapist.
Psychotherapist. I thought you said hypnotherapist. I was going to start going straight into
No.
So what just getting into that, like what got you into like wanting to be part of like, being a counsellor and wanting to support people with like their well-being?
Yeah, I think so. When I was early 20s, so a little while ago, I had counselling myself.
Right.
And it was an incredible life-changing experience. Actually, that sounds very dramatic, but it really, really was. And it kind of moved me from a space of like insecurity, not being very happy in my identity, difficult sort of relationship patterns and so on, to being someone who has a massive level of inner peace. I'm a very happy human. I've got a lovely life, and I kind of attributed that to that shift, and as a result kind of felt that, well, I could do that. I'd be good at that. And I think when I met my first therapist, she was amazing, and then I've kind of moved around a lot, and I tried to access therapy in different spaces, and I found it really hard to connect because a lot of therapists are quite they kind of sit back and they'll be very like,
very observant.
And whereas I'm quite, to me, the quality of the relationship is the key, is what's really, really important. And I'm not someone who'll just sit back and kind of listen. I will listen, obviously. But I will engage, and that's really, really important to me. And so I've kind of built my practice around that relationship quality. I don't know if I feel like I've gone off on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, so I became a therapist because I really saw the value in therapy and saw the change that it made for me.
I like that though, because it's like you had an experience, it's had that much of an impact on you that you then wanted to give back in the same way. It's a really beautiful way of looking at it. I suppose one question I would have is like what type of counselling in it? That sounds really weird, but what I'm trying to say is in my head is like I've been through CBT.
Yeah.
Wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
Personally, but then I've been through talking therapies.
Yeah.
And it was just the difference, and I think sometimes it's the right type of therapy for you.
It really is. So I do both of those types of therapy, and I always say that I'll never really use CBT on its own. I do occasionally if I'm asked by like an organisation to provide CBT therapy or such like, but I find that the talking therapy helps you to like really get to grips with, to dig into your stuff, to go to those deeper levels and really get to grips with what's going on for you. And CBT is more to help in the moment with like coping mechanisms and the day-to-day stuff. But I think in isolation, it doesn't work.
That's what it was for me. So like, it's like consciously, I know what the tools are meant to be there for, but I'm not in the mindset to use the tools.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Look at it from a different perspective.
They're great in theory. Yeah, they're great in theory, but in practice, you need that bit of something extra, I think.
Yeah. So why do you want to predominantly focus around like the queer community? And I know there's an element of like, it's rife. Mental health issues is rife within the LGBTQ plus community. So is that the reason? Because there's a lot of people that need help, or
no, not really. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't want to.
No, not interested in that. No, because that's my community. So I think being a part of of the queer community to me has been such a valuable experience. And like now I'm, I'm in my 40s. I don't go out on Canal Street like I might have done in my 20s. But when I was in my 20s, kind of being around people that looked like me, and I appreciate I look very straight, but being around people
What is aesthetics?
but being around people who looked how I felt,
Yeah.
and being around people that had the same lived experience as me was so important. And again, it comes back to giving back. I want to give that back to people who I have clients that come to me for therapy that have never met a queer person before.
Really?
Yeah, and it's so valuable to see someone in that community that's just living a normal life. Married, they've got 2 kids. Like, we're literally probably the most heteronormative gay couple you'll ever meet, but we're just living a normal life. And I think for some people, just actually connecting with someone in that space is really valuable.
You are right. And I think there's an element of, coming from my own background as well, as like, I think some people from the community feel a bit hesitant and struggle to access mainstream services, and to have that person that at least they understand you get it.
Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? Not everybody does get it. I think. Like I was oddly enough just talking to someone the other week, and they were asking what I did, and I was telling them, I was like, well, do you think that's still needed? And I was like, do you think it isn't? Like, what are you talking about? Of course it is. And I think there are lots of people that don't get it. And I do deliver training as well, actually, to other therapists that work within the community.
Okay.
To just, I guess, to give that understanding of the sort of the complexities or the common issues that impact and so on.
That's interesting. So what's been that like kind of, I don't know, feedback or the response to other therapists learning about? You might think that, just by being a counsellor or a therapist that you're there to listen and stuff, but there's an element of understanding nuance and context of an individual.
There is. And I think it's interesting, actually, because when I first started delivering the training, in my head I was a bit like, well, am I just like teaching people what they already know here?
Suck eggs.
Yeah. And it really surprised me, the reaction that I get of people like, oh, wait, it's okay to ask that. It's okay. Like, I remember like just talking about simple stuff like, when my clients sit down, I'll be like, my preferred pronouns are she or they, like, what are yours? And on this training, like, some of the therapists were like, well, wait, it's okay to ask that. Well, how else are you gonna know?
Well,
like,
yeah,
come
exactly.
on. And it's kind of like, I think people have a lot of fear around getting it wrong or, making a mistake. So that's why I think that training's really valuable, because making mistakes is okay, actually.
Yeah, of course.
That's how you learn, ultimately.
Especially in that kind of space. It's like the whole point of this kind of thing is this is the safe space.
Absolutely.
Here's the place to make mistakes.
Absolutely. And we're human, ultimately. We do make mistakes, don't we, on the daily?
Yeah, and I think as long as it's not with malicious intent and it's blatantly obvious it was a mistake.
Absolutely. And you apologise and you move on. That's it.
Like I recently did an episode with Tyler DeClaire, who's an online creator, non-binary, they, them. And because I'd literally just done an episode with a drag queen who I was referring to as she constantly, I started talking to them and I was like, oh, she said, wait, hold on, what? And in the moment, caught myself. Tyler laughed their heads off at it. Like, no, she's fine. She's fierce. But the point is, like, it happens. I mean,
it does happen.
I think in today's like society, like, as much as we're aware of it, some of these vocabulary changes are relatively new.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And on the training that I deliver, like, I talk about some of the vocabulary, and like some of them, I mean, I've had to Google things myself, and like, I'm dealing with this stuff day to day. So for those that don't deal with it day to day, it can be quite daunting, I think.
Exactly. So tell me a little bit about like the type of clients you have. So are they mostly Merseyside based? Are they across the board? Because I think because the day and age we're in now is not everything happens in person.
Yeah. So I see a mix of clients. I do have quite a few face to face, which is really nice. That's how I prefer to work, I think. I think you get more out of it ultimately. But I do see clients online as well. I've got clients from all over the country, which is nice, actually.
Yeah.
Nice to see different perspectives and hear about different people's experiences. So yeah, and I see people from a range of different sort of backgrounds, with a range of different issues, with a range of different experiences.
So how do you go about getting those clients? Like, how do you, I don't want to say advertise or sell yourself because they sound really bad. But again, 'cause I think individuals like yourself, where that is, not say your key target, but like, you know, you have that experience and it actually might be quite a big thing for someone to come and see you. Like, how do you get the message out there about these are my services?
Yeah, so I advertise on places like the counselling directory, but I also have all the socials in the world. Literally, I'm not great on them, but I try my best. I've got a website, and I try to. It's very relatively new, but like go to different events. So I'm hoping next year to get to like some Pride events and talk a bit more about what I do. And things like that. Word of mouth, I get quite a few clients by word of mouth. I mean, some people don't like to talk about having therapy, so will never ever mention me, but others are a bit more
you'll find that I find that some gays are like, girl, my therapist said, and love it. In a combination of, they can make a funny joke about it, but also it works.
Yeah,
it helps.
Absolutely. So I do get quite a few word of mouth recommendations, which is nice. And then, because I do a lot of networking, I know certainly in the very, very local community, I know a lot of people, so it's quite nice in that regard as well.
Has maybe developed into the magazine that you have, your wellbeing magazine? Is that how that kind of started?
Yeah, so that kind of started in
just for the nature, just tell me the name of it again.
Yeah, so it is Embrace Living Your Best Queer Life, and it is aimed at anyone in the queer community, and it has a range of articles from like people from all different, I don't know, aspects of the world, I guess, that are bringing out lived experience, well-being tips. So there's quite a few therapists, because I know lots of therapists, I guess, that write for the magazine. But there's people from all over, non-therapists, and this month we had some poetry, which I thought was fab, and different bits of things like that. And that kind of came about because I think for me, I was looking to reach a bigger audience of people, because like up to now I have worked very, very locally, but I know that there are a lot of people, you know, that are not local, that are not getting the support that they desperately need in some cases. And I've had clients travel. I think, you know, for clients that are maybe not out particularly, they don't want to see a therapist that's in their local area. So I thought it was important to kind of reach a bigger audience. So that's kind of where the magazine originated from. And we're on I think we just did the 4th issue at the end of August, which is brilliant. It's honestly, I'm so proud of it. Like, I could talk about that all day, but it's just, it gives people as well a chance to get their voices heard and their experiences heard. And off the back of that, next year, 2026, I'm going to be hosting a book collaboration, which is really cool. And that's going to be aimed at the queer community, for the queer community. And it's something like a working title, but like A Letter to My Younger Self or something like that.
I love that.
So I'm really, really excited about that. And that's going to be sort of coming off the back of the work that I'm doing with the magazine. So
what, is it an online magazine or is it physical?
It is. Yeah, it's online. Yeah.
So people just need to, where they go to find it?
So they go to my website, for which I will give you the details.
We'll get that at the end.
Yeah, they go to my website and they can just sign up for it there. And when they sign up, they'll get the most recent issue. So as I said, that's issue 4 at the minute. And then they'll get the preceding issues, and it's quarterly, so it's every 3 months.
I have to always think about that when people say quarterly.
Had to work that out.
So how when it comes to like putting that together, is that just come from your contacts? So is it a combination of people in the therapy world, or has it been also people who...
A mix. So so the magazine comes out quarterly, so the next issue is November, so sort of around the mid to end of October, I'll go out on my socials, I'll go to my mailing list, I'll be like, does anyone want to write anything for the magazine to contribute? If I don't get enough from that, I'll then go, so I'm a member of a number of therapy groups, but I'm keeping it very much by the queer community, for the queer community. So I will go to some of the therapy groups that I'm in. I'll go to some of the, like, Pink Therapy. I don't know if you've heard of Pink Therapy. So Pink Therapy is a big UK based organisation so I'm on their directory, for example. So they kind of work with therapists to kind of connect the queer community with queer therapists ultimately.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'll go to, they've got a Facebook group, so I might go to them and ask for contributors and such like. So yeah, I mean, if anyone who is watching this would like to contribute, absolutely get in touch.
Yeah, because I think it's important to share those wellbeing stories, because I think I recently because I got put on antidepressants last year, and then I came off them because I was sick of feeling numb.
Yeah.
Particularly after the start of the year, when a good friend of mine passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
But more recently, I've been put back on them, and
Yeah.
I specifically said to my doctor, like, don't put me on the same ones I was on previously, because
Yeah.
But I was very open about it on social media, about this is where I'm up to, and the amount of people who messaged me saying, oh my god, you're so brave for doing that, and I was like, I'm just being honest.
I think that's it, but people don't talk about mental health. I mean, pockets of people do, and I think it's certainly a lot more than when I first started studying therapy, probably about 15 years ago now, but a lot has changed since then, and hopefully it's moving forward, but it is still something that people don't feel that comfortable to talk about. Absolutely.
Why do you think that is, though?
I think it's still quite stigmatized, particularly in certain demographics. I think in the queer community, I think we're quite lucky, actually.
I think we're all very vocal about it. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Menti B.
Love that. Yeah, I think we're really lucky in that we are more open, and actually statistically the LGBT community are way more likely to access therapy than the kind of wider community, particularly I guess gay men versus straight men. There's a big divide there, I guess. So why do I think that is? I think stigma generally, I think kind of conditioning, like, certainly growing up, I should kill me for saying it, but like my mum would always be like, oh, just get a grip.
Yeah,
You'll
get
be
a
fine.
grip, grow a pair.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think younger generations are a lot more open to talking about mental health, luckily, which is nice.
Yeah. Do you find that just because you mentioned it there, like especially maybe on your client list or just general awareness when it comes to the queer community, do you think there's I don't want to separate us into the letters, but like a certain segments of our community that seems to be more prominent to getting support, or is it more of a generic, just the community is quite good?
I think the community is quite good. I think, I'd probably separate it between not even the letters, but people that are out versus people that are not out.
Right, okay. So we're more to what
As in
extent?
People that are not out, I think will find it harder to access therapy.
In the same breath of what you were saying about people from outside of the area might come and see you because they don't want someone local. Yeah.
For all those reasons, but shame ultimately would be the
and if anything, it's them who might actually benefit.
Need it the most.
Yeah, benefit from it.
Yeah.
It's really sad when we think about it, but I think you are right. I think this day and age, and with I don't like calling it Gen Z, but like Gen Z, and I think there's the next one, Generation Alpha. I can't remember.
Too many.
There's too many. Yeah, just decades. Being more forefront with mental health, maybe that taboo will eventually go.
Hopefully, I think so, but we'll see.
It's nice. Do you think it's getting to a point where it's like you hopefully that the more we become aware of mental health and needing to care for it, that you should be technically working yourself out of a job?
That's a good question.
In a positive way, of course.
Question. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think in my lifetime.
Well, I suppose like we will always need doctors. Then maybe we'll always need.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see. I think I certainly do see more younger people accessing therapy. Like a lot of my client base are probably. I mean, I only work with adults, but probably 18 to 30s.
Yeah. We keep changing what a young person is.
Yeah,
I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, it's nice. And I have a lot less older clients, though I do have some sort of 50s, 60s. So I think there is a trend towards just talking more and being a bit more open. So maybe there will be less of a need for therapy in 10, 20 years or so.
That would be nice.
It would.
But then again, I think also the idea of talking
is good.
Is a lot more. Like all these new initiatives like chatty benches and chatty cafes and stuff like that. I
love all that.
Just go and have a chat.
That. Yeah.
Well, I was saying to you before, like I've not long come from a networking event this morning. You go to networking events and stuff, and like I hate them. Once I'm in the moment, and as you can tell, like once you start me, I won't shut up.
You're fine. Yeah.
But it's that anxiety, I suppose, of first getting there, because I get a bit overwhelmed. Like there's so many people I don't know who to talk to. They don't want to listen to me.
I think I find it quite hard because I get quite overstimulated as well. So like there's lots of people and they're all talking. I'm a bit like, oh, this is too
switching off.
Yeah, this is too much for me. I'll just sit there on my phone or like something. So I think it's finding the right space for you.
Yeah,
isn't it as well?
Well, I'm going to pitch one now. Once a quarter in Liverpool, there's a networking event called the In Club. which
Okay.
is an LGBT
Ooh.
specific one. So it's run by two lesbians who are both in two different things, and it's about inclusivity.
Oh, I love that.
So it's a combination of
I'll check that out.
LGBT employers and employees, but also those who want to learn more about DE&I and just engage with, etc., etc. So yeah, I'll connect you with that one when the next one's out, because they're quarterly. They are quarterly. I think we've heard quite a lot about your practice and what you do. So if you don't mind, I want to learn a little bit more about Lianne.
Okay. Yeah.
So you just kind of said like you're one of the heteronormative like living conditions. I'm also conscious you're getting more and more over there. So
sorry. Very sorry.
You're coming out of my frame.
Apologies.
So what was it like for you, like just like growing up and that kind of thing, which then again might lead to you how you came into what you're doing?
So growing up was cool. I grew up here in Cronton, where we are now. I haven't always lived here, but but I grew up here. We moved back here when we found out we were having twins to be near family for support with that. But growing up was cool. So I am bisexual. So it was quite how can I put it? There were no bisexual people when I was growing up. Certainly none in, I mean, I'm sure there were
not visible.
Somewhere, not visible. So I was just a bit like, oh, what does this mean? So I just ignored it, pretended it wasn't happening.
I find you pretty, but I also find you pretty.
I just pretended that wasn't happening and dated guys for quite a long time. And then I got to the point where I was like, oh shit, this isn't for me. I don't want to do that anymore. So it was only then that I decided I was going to come out. So I was about 25, which is when I first accessed therapy, as I kind of touched on before, because I was a bit like, I've got this kind of thing that's going on and I've never told anyone about it because I was just kind of pretending, thinking it might go away, because society funnels us in a very sort of hetero direction.
Yeah, it does.
Or it certainly did in the 90s and early 2000s. So that's when I first accessed therapy. That's when I was like, right, by the way, family, I think I might like girls as well as boys. Luckily, I've got very supportive people around me, so it was really, really nice. It was a very confusing time for everybody involved, but it was really nice.
How do you think I feel? I'm the one experiencing it.
Exactly that, yeah. And then, so Manda and I, my lovely wife, we've been together for 10 years, which is nice. We have 2 7-year-old twin girls who are both the best and most chaotic things I've ever done.
I say God help this household when they hit puberty.
Yeah, I'm bracing myself for that. I mean, you've seen the state of the house on a normal day, like they're not even here. And the cleaner's just been. So yeah, they're absolute chaos, but they're fun. They're absolutely incredible little humans. Love them to bits. They're very into like their Pride events and stuff.
Yes.
So we went to Pride this year as a family, which was very cool.
Which one?
Liverpool one. Yeah.
I'm like, which one?
Yeah.
That side or that side?
Yeah, we do go to both generally, but we went to Liverpool, the 4 of us this year, which was really cool. They were very, very excited. And yeah, so I have done numerous jobs, worked in corporate for a long, long time, and then finally set up my counselling practice about 4 years ago.
Okay.
So I work from here, from this exact space, and online.
Which is very beautiful, by the way. It's very serene and calm.
It's a cool space. Yeah, it's quite nice. So I work from here and I work online. And outside of work and family, I like to travel.
Okay.
I like to eat.
We like our food's
all good, and that's it, really. That's me.
And that's, I think, at the point where I think some people think that LGBT people have these crazy wacky lives.
Yeah, I've got a really boring life.
I think that's probably very interesting life.
I know I've got a very nice life, but yeah, it's not anything outside of the ordinary.
How's it been, if you don't mind me asking, in regards to being a same-sex parents, and that experience? Like, have you faced any issues or anything like that? Has it been
not overtly? So my kids are the only kids in their school that have same-sex parents, because we live in a village community, so it is in my mind. Like, they don't see a lot of families that look like our family, hence why we went to Pride, hence why we do stuff like that, to kind of try and connect a bit more with that. there's things that bother me on a low level. So like at school, I've had to like, and I do it religiously, like put sticky notes on things that say like mum and dad. I'm like, actually, no, like sticky note there, sticky note there. I've been into school. I'm that mum. I'm a proper pain in the arse. Like I've been into school and I've been like, tell me what books you read that have got same-sex families in them. Tell me what books you look at that talk about difference. So I do push that agenda a little bit, or I try to, certainly. Because not for me, but for them, really.
Well, I think that's it. And I think that's what's I find really frustrating about the argument at the minute that seems to be happening again in regards to our community and what goes on in schools. Yeah. But it's like, it's not even just like rainbow families. It's like you've got single parent families. Like, not all families look the same.
No, they really don't. And like, we live in a very, I guess, very white area. Like there's, I think probably 2 kids in my kids' school that are not white as well. And
right. Okay.
There's probably certainly no kids with visible disability, for example. And so I try and really push this agenda of like, you need to be teaching about difference.
Yeah.
Because if those kids, like, for example, as I say, we live in quite a heteronormative white sort of middle class community. Like my kids are going to school, not necessarily my kids, other kids, whoever, they're not like, so a lad that's growing up that knows that they're gay at like 9 has got no one else, like they're not seeing in books kids that look like them. Like you might, if you live in Manchester, you're obviously going to be seeing that a lot more than if you live in a little tiny village. And that's really problematic, I think.
Especially when like then those young people feel like they need to get away from where they've grown up, which fair enough, that might be what they want to do.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't feel like they have to
fit in.
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
And it's interesting. So just as a little random answer, like I lived in Northern Ireland for a wee bit and and I lived in a rural town.
Yeah.
Some say is the Ballymena. Some say is the birthplace of the DUP.
Probably.
And I was the first openly. I use that key term on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I got into elected politics because I didn't know what else to put my activism to when I lived there. So I ended up falling into politics and became an elected representative. And I was like the first openly gay counsellor there.
Oh wow.
And I got some shit.
Yeah.
I got some shit, particularly in the election, getting the worst thing you can think of. But there is a massive thing in Northern Ireland about brain drain.
Okay.
People feeling like they can't stay where they come from.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing for them there, so they leave.
Yeah.
So it's the same, I think, because like I feel like it's not the same now with people running away from towns and whatever to like London or Brighton or Manchester.
Yeah.
It still happens.
Yeah.
But not the same. But like it's all about education to show that difference happens, and it does. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We shouldn't all look the same.
Yeah, absolutely
with
not.
Our English flags on roundabouts.
Oh, don't even.
We've got 3 minutes left, don't worry. I'm not going to start that conversation.
Oh, kill me.
Or the Finland. Is it Finland flag? That's the one done wrong, incorrectly.
Oh, I've seen a few.
They've done the colours the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Anyway.
there was some village drama about that exact topic.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't take you into it. It might be a bit too much.
Too much for a Friday afternoon.
So what does the future hold for yourself? Is it just like, continue with your therapy session? That sounds really bad. Continue with your practice.
Yes. Yeah.
Try and get more people involved and with the magazine.
I think
push out a bit more.
I think I'd like to grow the magazine so that it's reaching more people. I've obviously got my book coming next year.
Yeah.
Grow my practice, just keep working on that. Helping as many people as I can, ultimately.
Yeah.
Is what I aim to do.
How many people could you see at once? So for argument's sake, in a previous role, I know that we had a waiting list.
Yeah.
And which was growing.
I tend to have about 25 slots every week. And I'm not full at the minute. I'm not far off it. But between 25 and 30, I'd say. Individuals, yeah.
Okay. For a week or
a week. Yeah.
That's still quite a lot for one person.
It is. I work very long hours.
I was going to say that's a lot for one person, because obviously it's all the admin after it as well, I'm sure, that goes into it. Okay. So again, just to remind people, where can they find out about yourself?
So
those different things that you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm on social media. So Lianne Terry on Facebook, or you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is called Embrace Your Best Queer Life. But I will pass you the link to that because I'm not sure I've said it right. It might be like Embrace Your Best Queer Life, Embrace Living Your Best Queer Life,
we'll put all the
something
links
like
in the
that.
info.
So you can find me on the socials. I've got a website. So they're the main places that you can find me.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
No, thank you for having me.
I really appreciated it. So
it's been really nice.
I put that one, the big call out, and Lianne got in touch and was like, let's sort something. And you know what? This has been a nice chat.
I've enjoyed it.
What I quite like about some of these conversations is they're empowering, they're educational.
Try to be.
Learn more about the community around us.
Yeah.
Because that's some feedback I've had is like, it's been really nice to learn more about people in the community and like, the stories that no one knows about.
That's it. There's lots of stories.
There is. I'm sure you know a lot of them.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing yours. I really appreciate it. So
really nice.
if you want to learn more about the podcast, it's at Proudly Said on Instagram and TikTok, and proudlysaid.co.uk. Any more information. And don't forget to join the Front Row, which is our membership. Less than £3 a month, get early access. If it grows a wee bit, I might add more to it. Thanks very much. See you next time. You've been listening to Proudly Said. Now, if it meant something to you, why not pass it on? If it didn't, maybe it will one day. Either way, stay kind, stay loud, and stay proud.